I want to make use of Trostani. So Trostani 3 Whispers, let's go in for the Cenote Scout, do a little bit of extra damage here, and then just drop down a Llanowar Elf. I think that's pretty okay with me. Next turn with the Elves, we kind of set ourselves up here, where we can go in for like a Soul Partition or a Sheltered by Ghosts, and go for Trostani's Double Strike. Sheltered by Ghosts, we want to put this on Trostani, I believe. Don't think there's any real danger here. Sheltered by Ghost onto the bunny. And there you know we got just exactsies with Trostani. Ladies and gentle mages, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode of Man, and today we've got a juicer for you. So today we're going to dive into a deck that's a little bit more underplayed, I think. And I think it makes for a good play. Let's go and dive right in, baby. We got a Trostani aggro. That's right. That is right. So definitely a weirder kind of brew here. I guess we'll just start off with this card here. From Karlov Manor, Trostani, 3 Whispers. Target creature gains death touch until end of turn. I'm not gonna lie, that's the least one I use. That's the one I use the least amount, is like death touch until end of turn. But target creature gains vigilance for 1, and then the one that I use the most is the target creature gains double strike until end of turn. You can absolutely put some surprisingly decent amount of damage on the board with just shiny 3 Whispers, and the 3 Whispers for the 3 modes, obviously. Whatever one speaks to you, whichever one speaks to you in any single different matchup, feels pretty damn good. I think this is a really underexplored type of deck here. So of course, we do like the kind of like token kind of nonsense here. This deck does play a little bit differently, in my opinion, than like the stereotypical like Rabbits. Rabbits is a fine deck, but Rabbits wants to go extremely wide. This deck wants to go a little bit more tall. We do have different kind of things that we can do here, especially how do we go kind of tall here. Another card that no one really runs, the Guardian of New Benalia. I like this card a lot. Whenever you enlist a creature, so obviously with Saddle, so compared to the Steed, all you have to do with Saddle is tap any number of creatures with total power 4 or more, and then you're gonna get a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. First Strike and Lifelink, a nice little card here with the mount. It is a little bit, the Saddle 4 can be a little bit rough, but it is kind of nice because the Guardian of New Benalia, the enlist, is you have to tap the creature without summoning sickness. So enlist is a little bit, in my opinion, worse. But nevertheless, what I really like about this is discard a card. Guardian of New Benalia gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. So that is really, really nice, especially if you pair it with a Sheltered by Ghost. Because if you Sheltered by Ghost, the Guardian of New Benalia, you don't have to worry about anything. It basically just has built-in protection. So that's Sheltered by Ghosts. You're going to be Sheltered by Ghosts, and you're going to be Sheltered by Indestructible ability. It feels pretty amazing. And we also have Skrelvs. No one's really running Skrelv anymore. Why? I have no idea. I just have absolutely no idea. Skrelv is absolutely phenomenal in a creature-heavy deck, especially in Selesnya. I am running Llanowar Elves. I don't know. You could actually make the case that maybe we should not be going for Llanowar Elves and just go straight in for like more creature presence, but it still just never feels bad to get an extra like land down, essentially. So we're still going to be packing it. Cenote Scout. This is a 1-drop Spirited Companion half the time, and the other time it kind of fixes your stuff up. I just love it. In a very creature-heavy matchup, there's just not much to not like. It's just really, really good. I'm telling you, this one's really, really good. There's just, I don't know, like Soul Partition. No one's really running Soul Partition. This whole deck just feels like a bunch of cards that nobody runs, and I love it. I'm here for it, man. Now, there are going to be 2 things that I do, maybe I'm a little bit more on the fence about. The Sandstorm Salvager, of course, this is a mythic from Big Score, so I would say before you craft this, I'm just gonna give it a test run here. Whenever it enters, create a 3/3 golem, I don't know, whatever artifact creature token, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control that can trample. The trample is what I really, really like here, because if you can combine the trample with double strike, we can have like a red, hey, who says only red can have trample double strike? Come on, Monstrous Rage, Manifold Mice, get out of here. We got enough for it. And the Melira Living Cure, I mean, this is a legendary creature, so I'm only going to run 1. But the reason I kind of poison counter is cool, but whenever another creature is put into the graveyard this turn, return that to the battlefield. It is a little bit of dyssynergy with, say, like a Sheltered by Ghost, because if it even touches the battlefield, the Sheltered by Ghost isn't going to be able to get, like, proper protection. So, I don't know, this and this, I'm a little bit on the fence about, but nevertheless, it is what it is. Sanguine Evangelist is just amazing. We do go kind of wide. Again, we're not as wide as like a stereotypical bunny deck, but it is still enough to want to. And then Toby, the Beastie Befriender. Just creating a beast. I don't know, this is like a cool card. It's also a legendary creature, so only going to run 1 as a silver bullet, but we do want to have some sort of oomph in the 3 slot. So, but Trostani 3 Whispers, in my opinion, is kind of like the meat of the top end here. Last but not least, got a Virtue of Loyalty, just because if you do get into some grindier matchups, you do want to have the ability to go nice and tall and put a +1/+1. And untapping everything is pretty good. We got Skrelv, so you can give something protection, swing in, and then untap, and now you've got more protection with Skrelv. So the sideboard here, nothing too crazy. I definitely got to give a shout out. Make sure that you're running the Wilt-Leaf Lieges, because of the Pixie decks. Having you discard gives you that automatic 4/4 on the battlefield that buffs everything, and it's pretty much just game over. This just eats the Pixie decks for absolute breakfast and dinner, and then everything else. We are a little susceptible to temporary like sweepers, because we're like a slow creature deck that we don't really have as much power as mono red. So the Aven Interrupter is really good versus like Sunfall, Split Up, etc., etc. And then we also have, you know, for temporary lockdown, because you are weak to temporary lockdown as well, we do have Destroy Evil, and then the Get Lost and Soul Partition can take care of that. So I think this deck has everything you need. It has basically everything. You got life gain. We have no bad matchups, literally no bad matchups, and nobody is running the stuffs here. So as always, we're going to give a shout out to the Mana Rocks. The Mana Rocks are the patrons and the YouTube channel members that do help out the channel financially, which I absolutely love, and thank you so much. And we do have a brand new patron today, so thank you so much to the new Mana Rock, D-Lane13. Shout out to you. Feel free to join us in the Discord. The Discord is absolutely free to join. You don't have to become a Mana Rock to join us in the lovely Discord, as we do gear up for Aether Drift. I'm very, very excited. We do kind of share ideas, deck lists, anime commander, etc. Whatever you want, just join the Discord. Come and talk to me. I'll talk to you. I promise you, I'll talk to you all day until I have to go to work. But until that comes, until work or the day I become a big content creator, just keep in mind that only you, yes, you, can help protect the Aether with me. So make sure to leave a like on the video. The button looks just like this. It helps out the channel tremendously. I would appreciate it. And let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. Pack rat. Are we gonna see some pack rat? All right, let's see. We got some rats going on here, but whenever you start off with a Shelter by Ghost in your opening hand, I mean, you can never be too upset. So I think we're looking pretty good here. Let's go in for the Pawpatch Recruit. See if we got a little cut down action. Figures as much, but that's okay. So cut down, or just figure. Which one's better? I don't know. I think it's still, to this day, I mean, I think the jury's still kind of out on it, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go and get down a creature. You know, we could actually go in for Virtue of Loyalty, because if they are going to be holding up counter magic, I will feel pretty bad. Okay, we're good. All right, so we got kind of lucky there. Flashing in the Virtue of Loyalty kind of screws up their sequencing. So, okay, well, never mind. All right, never mind. I think if they just had it, so that's kind of be the kind of way I kind of cope with it. Hopefully we get a 1-drop here, which we do, which is actually really, really fortunate. So Elves into, I mean, we kind of already have done like the sorcery speed nonsense here, but if we get Virtue of Loyalty going, I think we'll be okay. Don't think the Storm Chaser's talent's gonna be super relevant here unless they can go in for that, which they do. So yeah, okay. As long as they're not making me discard. Discarding is a little bit gross. Storm Chaser's talent. Obviously, the Living Cure, like I said, I don't know. It just feels a little awkward, because it does still have to go into the graveyard, which is not great. I mean, we could just slam down the Virtue of Loyalty if we wanted, but I want to make the most use of it, and I also want to make use of this removal stuff. So let's go in for Shelter by Ghosts. A little scary here, but we get around that cut down in case they were packing that extra cut down. I could go for Storm Chaser's talent, but I think we just want to start swinging in. So I think we'll do this so that we can swing in without any sort of fear of isolation. So pun very intended there. Not even gonna lie to you. Get a little bit of life gain going. So here's the thing though, if they do run that discard nonsense, it gets a little swirly here. So I'm actually gonna end the turn. I'd rather just kind of get rid of the Brushland. There it is. See, exactly. There's the kind of discard nonsense here. I want to keep the Soul Partition and the Virtue, for sure. Like, for sure. So this is why we didn't drop the land. That makes sense to me. If they have another one, then, well, I just... oopsie. This is... You know what? We actually could do this. Let's change of plans. Let's go for Soul Partition, and we're going to exile. That is actually a really good value here, so... That feels pretty damn good, and now we still have this Virtue of Loyalty. Okay, that feels pretty good to me. 22 to 16. And another Soul Partition. Alright, hopefully they can't, like, make me discard again, but that feels really, really efficient. We still have enough for a Virtue of Loyalty and a Soul Partition as well. With our lovely Llanowar Elves, so... I think we're kind of doing good here. 12 to 26. We still have access to a Virtue and a Soul Partition. Storm Chaser's Talent, sure. Sure. We'll let this go. I mean, we got more life, plus we've got life gain, so I don't think we're in any sort of trouble to race, so I definitely want to go in for Virtue of Loyalty, for sure. We could make use of the Soul Partition. I think we might as well. If we do tap deck into a land, I'm going to want to tap out for Virtue of Loyalty anyway, so that makes me a little nervous, because if they do... I was kind of hoping we would just top deck and land and we wouldn't have to think about it. But now we might have to bear those consequences. They would just swing all. They're just going to... Yeah, whatever. We'll take a little bit of extra damage here. Cenote Scout. Hopefully we do find into a land here, because I do want to get into that Virtue of Loyalty. But now I'm just thinking here. That Storm Chaser's Talent, I mean, it hardly ever happens where they go in for Storm Chaser's Talent and they, whatchamacallit, they start, like, you know... like, leveling it up. So maybe I should have kept the Soul Partition. This is making me a little nervous. Because now I have no... Yeah, see? Oh, man! I don't have any sort of interaction with this. I mean, if they just get back a knock, it's not that big of a deal. But if they start, like, swarming off on otters, I'm going to get a little nervous here. So there's our land. We can... We already had the land, so kind of didn't really want to land there. But we can still go in for Virtue of Loyalty. So let's not drop it. There's no point in dropping it, but now I can't really swing in with Melira, because if they triple block, that's not really good, huh? Should I have swung it? Man, I don't think so. I don't think so. Come to think of it, though, this also is kind of back. So now we're losing 2 creatures, and we are planning on going in for Virtue of Loyalty. So now we have to drop the land, because they killed the elf. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. This is not really... I don't know. Feel free to roast me in the comments. I don't know. This is like one of those matches where, like, there's a lot of gray. I don't know where I misplayed, where I didn't. But I'm starting to feel a little bit woozy about this, because now, even with just going in for an op, they're going to get a prowess otter every single turn. So Skrelv could help. Skrelv could absolutely help in, you know, getting an unblockable Melira, or just anything, really, essentially. But I can't really swing in again here, though. We want to keep our board here, because we are going to get +1/+1s on everything. But then, come to think of it, I don't know if I want this to go into, like, a marathon. So let's just go ahead and bide our time here. So they go for Opt. They get a 2/2. Alright. Opti. Yep. So we are getting bigger, but like I said, I think they're going to be able to get wide as hell. So 2 cards left in their hand. They might even just be able to, like... Because my Skrelv has got Summoning Sickness, so... Once Skrelv is alleviated from Summoning Sickness, I will feel a lot better. Okay, this town ain't big enough is a disaster. Oh, baby, that's not good. Okay, that's like the worst case scenario. I kind of wasn't even really expecting that, but... Get back to Fear of Isolation. Oh my god, that's... Oh, and a land off the top! Oh my good god. Alright, we're looking pretty damn bad here. I can't really swing in. I can't swing in. We're gonna have to buff up the board here with the Virtue of Loyalty, so... Oh man, I think the Storm Chaser's Talent's gonna take it, but like I said, we're gonna fight for sure. Just 2 damage. We got enough life from that early Shelter by Ghost to where we can kind of, like, you know, bide our time here a little bit. Another land is so bad. Oh my god, 2 lands off the top here is so disastrously bad. I think we are gonna do this though. I think we can't have any fear. We're gonna take Skrelv. And then I see that white. See their hand? They're tapping that. Like, that makes me nervous. Here's the thing though. Let's do this. Skrelv. No, that's not pay to life. We have the means. I know I'm not paying to life here. So Melira, let's go for blue. Good. All right, that's good. That's good. And then we untap with the Virtue of Loyalty, right? So we're good. We still get Skrelv's protection. Opt, sure. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. I mean, our win condition, we got Melira. Hopeless Nightmare, we don't care about that. Don't care about that. I mean, how much damage can they really put up here? Skrelv can't block, which is really unfortunate. Oh my god, that was so nerve-wracking. Round 3, fight. Alright, I think this is probably a mulligan. That was a pretty close mulligan, though. I think with the Cenote Scout, sometimes I do prefer the Scout in like land-deficient hands rather than land-sufficient hands, but here we go. Verge and go in for a map token with this lovely Kellan. This Kellan Daring Traveler can definitely be pretty solid, especially in this what we kind of want to do in this deck here. Definitely do not like the Storm Chaser's talent. We need a lot of different things, but let's go ahead and drop you. Don't think it matters too much here. Whatever. Do we want Kellan or the Steed? We also could just go for a Scout and then go for a map token, but I think Kellan's just gonna win this out here. Kellan is a lot of card advantage, which if we don't have the Wilt-Leaf Liege, if they start discarding our hand, that's not good. What you got? What you got? Kind of roping me, but they are active because I can see the white cards on their hand blinking, so like, I know they're there. Okay, there we go. All of that for, oh my god, all of that for like nothing. Okay, well, interesting. I think the first things first, let's go ahead and get our value from Kellan. I mean, it is a, maybe we should, ooh, okay. They would have already used that. I don't think there's any, like, unless it's opt. Opt would be kind of, maybe like double opt would be kind of scary, but they wouldn't let me have this trigger. And we get a Sanguine for absolutely free. Thank you, Kellan. So this is fine. I think now we kind of just have like a pretty more obvious thing. I don't want to go for the Evangelist. I kind of want a more wide board state here, so let's go small. And Elves, I think we'll go ahead and keep that, I guess. You know what, come to think of it, with the Elves, get out is fine, whatever. The only reason I'm keeping the Elf is because it's like more mana efficient with like, you know, you go for Elves and then maybe Evangelists or something like that, but I think it's a little bit of a misplay here. I don't know, Elves feels a little weak, but we kind of already committed to it. Considering that I have the map token, I think that's a better use of 1 mana than just going in for an Elf on turn like 4. So, do kind of already regret that. But nevertheless, we do have kind of like a value engine with Kellan. So, yeah, let's go ahead and swing in with you. I'm going to keep the Cenote Scout back here. I don't know really what's going on, but I do want my value. So, let's go ahead and put that in the graveyard. Got enough lands here. Entity Tracker. That's pretty unfortunate. I haven't seen an Entity Tracker. Kind of wasn't expecting that, but yeah, maybe we should have used that map token here. Now I'm feeling really crowdy. I'm feeling real cruddy here, but I guess we can't cry over spilt milk. We can go for the Steed, and then the Elf, and then a map token. Or, yeah, I don't know. The sequencing here is a little goofy, I think, but Scout's a little weak, but let's just say no. Let's just say no. Just say no, kids. Say no to drugs. Say no to Cenote Scouts on turn 5. We've already kept this Elf, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking here. That Llanowar Elves keep was a little... Looks like we're going to have to grind for value. They do know that we have the Sanguine here. Thankfully, they have not shown that Hopeless Nightmare, because I only have the Sanguine, so we do get a little bit bailed out here with the Soul Partition, because we can actually do this, so... See, that's what I'm saying. It actually ended up working out pretty well here. Let's go for this, and then we can still go for Evangelist. So, I guess that... See, that Llanowar Elves... We do perfectly kind of curve out here, so like it does matter, I guess. So let's go for Steed here. So saddle up, baby. Let's go and saddle it up. Swing on in. We got a 3/3, and they're not going to be able to block this. Nope. We definitely got a little bit lucky with the top deck there, but the Llanowar Elves ended up being a decent keep, just so that we could make that play. So I don't know, man. I got a little lucky, though. I can't even lie with that Soul Partition off the top. Because Shelly is a nightmare for this deck. Sure. Oof. How are we looking here? I would say this is like a 50-50 game. I don't know where we sit here. I don't know where we sit. I would imagine they're going to get rid of the Sanguine Evangelist ASAP. Because that's going to be able to do, like, Battle Cry. I do have a pretty wide board here, so I imagine they don't even, like, give this the time of day. Guardian of New Benalia is decent. I don't have a hand to really discard and protect. But then again, I can go in for you. I'm going to do this now because I want to saddle the steed. So Guardian of New Benalia works differently. You need to enlist it. You need to enlist the Guardian of New Benalia. They can't have summoning sickness, but saddling, they can be summoning sick. So enlist and saddle do work differently in that regard. But let's go ahead and swing, I guess. If I can get the swing battle cry, that, like I said, they cannot have too much removal here, because they definitely would have. They wouldn't have let the battle cry go off in the first place. So Entity Tracker, they will be able to draw a lot of cards with this Entity Tracker, but this is okay, because as long as we got 3 power, which we do on basically everything other than the Evangelist, obviously. So we're going to take one Entity Tracker, but they're going to take my Evangelist, which is a little unfortunate. Alright, I think we're okay here. These 3/3s in the air with our Steed. Alright, land. That's good. Land is good. That means they've got less things to work with in their hand. 2 cards left. Can't go for Shelly. Shelly's too costly. Oh! Gix's Command. Okay, oh! Okay. Well, they're swinging in. Okay, I guess they want that lifelink trigger, so that's fine. Okay, okay. Shelter by Ghost. We're looking pretty good here. That Gix's Command was absolutely insane. I was not expecting that at all. But I think we're okay here. The Steed needs ward... Sorry. The Steed needs to saddle 4. So let's go for Shelter by Ghost. Shelter by Ghost will increase the power of the Angel by 1. Get rid of you. And now I can comfortably saddle it up, baby. Saddle up the Steed. And saddle you up for 4. So now we satisfy the Steed. And we get another 3/3 in the air. Okay, that feels pretty good. That Gix's Command was pretty nuts, though, not gonna lie. They showed me in the last game, but I still wasn't expecting it. Fortunately, those 3/3s just perfectly get over the sweep ability from the Gix's Command, so... Storm Chaser's Talent's gonna go for level 2. They're gonna snag back, what? Oh, they actually go for Gix's Command, but they're gonna have to wait until next turn to use that. Fear of Isolation. Ooh, okay. Storm Chaser's Talent. They're going to get another little chump blocker here. Top deck of land. So at this point, now I don't want to saddle my Steed. I don't want to make more 3/3s. I just want to attack with more 3/3s. Let's go. So we're not going to be able to do lethal here. So they did ward us off here. They still have that Gix's Command that I thought they weren't going to be able to cast again. But now they can. But fortunately, those 3/3s... Gix's Command absolutely hates 3/3s. Oh my god, by the skin of our teeth. Pong 6. Hello, how you doing? Alright, I think we can rock with this. It's a little meh, to be honest with you. Sometimes Llanowar Elves feels a little bit weird in this deck, because it's like, well, that was a mulligan. Let's go ahead and give the opponent the friendly mulligan. Hello, everybody needs a friend when we take a mulligan, because those things suck. So, alright, baby, let's get it. I'm actually going to go in for the Cenote Scout first. Why? Because most of the time you want to just get the elves down, but like, let's just see if we can kind of fix up our stuff here. Melira, the Living Cure, I think we kind of like this. I don't know, seems good enough to me, so. I am a little, like you said, a lot of these cards I am a little unsold on. Melira being one, it is just like a silver bullet. And the other one being the Sandstorm Salvager thingy. So up the Beanstalk, this deck typically is going to be able to wipe us out via temporary lockdown. That's typically what they're going to be doing here, so that's completely fine. We do have Shelter by Ghost that can kind of get rid of it. We also have Soul Partition. Pretty good. I'm a huge fan of Soul Partition. I am a little bit wary of the Sandstormy artifact creature token thingy. Being suck, that's fine. They're going to start drawing a lot of cards, so hopefully we can just kind of kill them before they do. And then Melira's the other one. Trostani, I am not. Trostani, I absolutely love Trostani. So I think we... Kind of weird to just kind of ignore Llanowar Elves. Like, that feels insane, but I think in the context of this match, I think we want to just be aggressive and threaten with that double strike on Trostani. You can surprisingly output a lot of damage. Ooh, Carrot Cake's a little gross. Carrot Cake is a little nasty just because that is just like an efficient chump blocker. We don't have trample, much trample in this deck other than the Sandstormer, which I kind of, you know, kind of been shitting on this whole video, but it's fine. So, how do we want to play this? I think there's no way they like main deck split up, right? Come on, there's no way. I guess we just let's just be a little more conservative here. It's a little unfortunate that we have to do this, but I want to make use of Trostani. So Trostani 3 Whispers. Let's go in for the Cenote Scout. Do a little bit of extra damage here. And then just drop down a Llanowar Elf. I think that's pretty okay with me. So they're going to do this beforehand. That tells me they probably want to get land. It's completely fine. Next turn with the Elves, we kind of set ourselves up here where we can go in for like a Soul Partition or a Shelter by Ghost and go for Trostani's double strike. That's fine. 12 to 22 in a tap lane here, so we're looking all right. And we're good to go. I don't think they have any priority to stop us, so let's go ahead and get to it. 5 mana to play with here, so Sheltered by Ghosts. We want to put this on Trostani, I believe. Don't think there's any real danger here. Sheltered by Ghosts onto the bunny, and then you know we got just Exactsies with Trostani. Mr. Sealman, hello. Well, I'm still not completely sold on the Sandstorm Scavenger, but first things first, as the mulligan, let's go and give the opponent the friendly mulligan. Hello, everybody needs a friend when you take a mulligan, because those things suck. Alright, let's go ahead and get it, baby. Gotta love the hospitality around here. I'm actually gonna go for the Llanowar Elves. We're gonna test this Sandstorm Salvager. Big fan of alliteration on the channel, by the way. But we're gonna go ahead and test this out, because this is the 1/3 drop I'm a little shaky on. Ooh, Pawpatch Recruit. Now, Pawpatch Recruit is, in my opinion, just de facto the better 3-drop, but we're gonna go ahead and test out our little guy here. Human Artificer, make a 3/3, gives everything trample. Like I said, I'm just kind of testing it out. It is a big score mythic, so I wouldn't just recommend just crafting mythic, especially from big score, all willy-nilly. We're gonna test this puppy out before I give the green light on it. I'm not sure what we're playing against here. It could be Gruul's Slick Shot, could be just like Mice Pump. I don't know. There we go. We have our answer. We got the Mice Pump, Manifold Mouse. Big fan of alliteration, by the way, but look, now that we've got the Shelter by Ghost, the game just becomes pretty obvious here. We're just going to go tall. I think that's just the way to do it. So, Shelter by Ghost on the Mice, and I'm going to take the Salvager. Again, we're trying to test this out. I think this is a good kind of testing point. Let's activate the ability, get that +1/+1 counter. Almost like every single like deck ever in Standard, you kind of want to go wide. Not this deck, because you don't want them to be able to burn them. Screaming Nemesis, that's fine. They don't attack, which is kind of unfortunate for us, but I still think I am going to attack. Like I said, we'll be able to trample over, so I guess maybe this Salvager is a little bit better than I kind of gave it credit for. That +1/+1 counter, getting it nice and tall, is pretty relevant here. Yeah, they'll be able to block, and then they will be able to block out the whatchamacallit, but if we get this trample, we still will be able to deal damage. And we still gain life anyway, so I could go for the Elspeth Smite, but that would kind of, they would deal the damage and block the life gain beforehand, so I don't think it's really worth it. That's straight to my face, but I'm already at 28 life. Do I really need to gain that much life anyway? Not really. So, Pawpatch Recruit, we're going to go for the Offspring, and I think we got him here. Shelter by Ghost is like the #1 way to just murder aggro, and there it is. Recruit and a Pegasus? Come on. A little bit of removal at the top. I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and keep this. Let's see what we got here. Llanowar Elves. Okay, so also I'm a little bit shaky. Kellan. I'm not shaky on Kellan. I do think Kellan's pretty damn good. But like I said, Selesnya aggro, like, do people really run this stuff? I don't know. We're going to try it out. So far, so good, I think. But Skrelv on turn 2. God, I love Skrelv on turn 1. I'm going to say no. It's close, though. I do love some Skrelv. So this kind of pile just feels like a bunch of cards that nobody uses. Screaming Nemesis on turn 2 is absolutely devastating, but we do have to get lost, so that should be nice. I mean, I do want to get down my Steed, because that is lifelink, and I'm probably just planning on the Nemesis to probably just swing into my face one more time, so I guess we could just get this down. It doesn't feel amazing, but, like, we're on the draw, and they already have a Nemesis out, so, like, I mean, nothing's gonna feel amazing by default. So what else you got here? As far as making the if we can saddle the Steed, I mean, that seems kind of far away here. Emberheart Challenger. We do have First Strike. We do have First Strike here, so... Okay, well, okay, here we go. We do have First Strike. So if they want to go for the Challenger, they are tapped out. I don't have to worry. I will do this, 100%. It has Double Strike, so effectively they'll just cancel out. And we do have that lifelink on it. I think we do just take the opportunity to trade here. That feels like a pretty damn good trade if you ask me. Yeah, I think we can live with that. That's pretty good. Now I've got to make a decision here. I think we want to keep up the Get Lost just for the Screaming Nemesis, but... So let's go for Pawpatch Recruit, because we do have one drop to kind of play with. Can't go for the Offspring here, obviously. And maybe we just kind of hold back. This is a little risky. This is a little risky because if they are running green, they could have, you know, Snakeskin Veil or, you know, Tyvar Stand. Most likely just a Snakeskin Veil. So this Get Lost, it's going to have to be pretty untimely for them and timely for us. So hopefully we can kind of screw them out with like some blocks. So Manifold Mouse. Okay. Because we do have a 2-2, this actually bodes pretty well for us. We can kind of threaten that. So 2-2. So they do want to go for like Monstrous Rage, which would be like the obvious thing. Here we go. Monstrous Rage. This is not that bad. I think we'd let this resolve. Let them go crazier. They gotta suspect that I do have some form of removal here. But hopefully, come on. One more. Come on. Come on. You know you want to. Come on. Oh, alright. I saw them highlighting their hand here, but okay. I think now's the time to do it here. Let's just go ahead and kill the mice. Oh, okay. Alright. Snakeskin Veil there would have been absolutely devastating, but fortunately, we do kind of slither away. Now, they do get to make use of these map tokens here, but that's a small price to pay for salvation. Let's get this out of here. Burst Lightning, I think, is actually fine. Honest to God, I do not really mind the Burst Lightning here. So if I go for... Ooh, you know what? We could really make them pay with the Pawpatch Recruit. I guess we get Offspring. And then if they did want to Burst Lightning, they could probably go for my face. But if they do touch a creature, we're going to get like some massive amounts of +1/+1 counters. So just because I know they have a Burst Lightning here, I guess so. Kellan, Daring Traveler, will go on for a journey. And I think at this point... might want to start being aggressive. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of close if we want to be aggressive or not. Because, like, at some point, we do have to win the game. And if I'm not blocking, then I think we just want to start attacking. So 13-13. They obviously have the edge here. But now this Burst Lightning, they might just have to go for my face. Yeah, we'll just take that. I mean, ooh, all right. Llanowar Elves. Obviously, a Monstrous Rage is devastating if we block the elf. So I don't think we can do that. Oh, God, that would have been pretty damn bad here. So that's 9. That's 11. We're going to need a Shelter by Ghost to really come back from this. Llanowar Elves is not going to do it. I think we're just kind of cooked here, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we're cooked. Let's go ahead and go to number 3. Trostani, 3 Whispers and a Tranquil Throwback. I think this looks a little bit better by default. No, like, actual removal. That was a mulligan, so that's always nice to see your opponent on a mulligan, especially when we're on the draw. in game 3. That's exactly where we want to be. Let's go. Okay, so obviously we're just going to go in for some lovely Llanowar Elves. And then probably, do we just go in for Trostani or do we go in for Pawpatch Recruit? I don't know. It's a good question. But turn 1's easy. We just drop the Elves on the play. Come on. It doesn't get much better than that, does it? Little Mantic Barrage. Well, I don't really have a choice anymore. But fortunately, we do top deck into a Guardian of Benalia. Guardian of New Benalia, I'm telling you what, this card is so underrated. This card just sees no play. Trostani, no play. Guardian of New Benalia, no play. Obviously, the Throwback and the Recruit definitely see play, but a lot of these cards are just so damn good, and they, no one plays them. Sheltered by Ghosts, everyone plays that, because you kind of have to. I'm not going to lie, you kind of have to play Sheltered by Ghosts. So, yeah, I mean, this seems pretty obvious. We could just drop Trostani, but I think we'll just start gaining life before we see that stupid Nemesis. So, let's just do this instead. And with the Guardian of New Benalia, as long as you have anything in your hand, like literally anything in your hand, you're just going to be able to keep it from being sacrificed, or not sacrificed. You won't be able to do that. You will be able to keep it from being destroyed, so. Llanowar Elves, let's sure, ramp up, do your thing. They're gonna swing, I'll let that go. I honestly would not block, because I want to keep my Pawpatch Recruit, so. We do have to keep, like I said, you always have to keep something in your hand, but now we get to enlist. Should we? I mean, we don't have trample on this bad boy, but like, whatever. So, let's go and enlist. Let's enlist the Guardian of New Benalia. Let's see what we got here. Scry 2, Skrelv, and then we get our beautiful Shelter by Ghost. I mean, we're taking the Skrelv away, sure. But we want the Shelter by Ghost 100%. If we get another Shelter by Ghost and can protect the Guardian of New Benalia, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's pretty much GG's, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Never want to, like, count anything out. I'm going to set this land down and just go in for Trostani. Worst case scenario, we just can discard the Tranquil Throwback. I don't think it's really that necessary. Questing Druid, sure. That's like, oh, I mean, that's pretty intimidating here. Screaming Nemesis and a Monstrous Rage. I mean, that is definitely probably the most intimidating 2 things you could get with the Questing Druid, but we'll see. So they do opt to go in for the Questing Druid instead, but they have enough mana here. With the, yep, they have enough for a Screaming Nemesis and a Monstrous Rage. So pretty nasty combination of events here. Alright, definitely not blocking. Nope. Take your Monstrous Rage. They have to use the Monstrous Rage right now or they lose it. Right? Yeah, so they're going to use it. Not blocking. And of course, we're going to get a delicious Sheltered by Ghosts here. So I want to make sure, I mean, do we want to go tall is the question here. I mean, we could go for Trostani. Being able to give double strike is going to be just like a nightmare for them, I assume. So don't have enough mana to go in for Shelter by Ghosts and a double strike trigger from Trostani 3 Whispers. But that's kind of the point here. So I think we could go Throwback. We could play a little slower. We don't want to empty our hand either way, so we kind of have to be a little bit more apt to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and enlist this because we do have, you know, we have the means to enlist here. So we do get that life gain. So I'm gonna do Trostani instead because I want to gain 7 life here. So Pawpatch Recruit, we just want to get lost for the Nemesis. That seems good here, but bam, let's go. Guardian of New Benalia. Let's go ahead and gain 7 life, and that feels insane. And of course, we're going to be discarding here. Absolutely. Discard the Throwback, and I think the longer the game goes on, like, they're going to have a hard time keeping up with this. Giving a double strike, I don't think matters, so there's no point in using Trostani's ability, because, well, come to think of it, we probably should have done that. Oh, I actually kind of missed that. So if we would have done double strike, we would have kept the card in our hand. I was thinking, like, well, it doesn't matter. We're not going to gain the extra life, but a little bit of a misplay there. Should just double strike, but yeah, it is what it is. Whatever. Sorry, Trostani. We used your power and didn't even use your ability. That's a little counterintuitive, but nevertheless, we got 29 life here. We're sitting here pretty good. Got another Shelter by Ghost as well. Swing in, sure. I mean, I'm gonna take this all day. There's just no point in not. They can Monstrous Rage, they can Burst Lightning, they can strike real lightning on my head like in real life. They can have a Lightning Bolt. Whatever lightning you want to do, you can scream at me. Nemesis, I don't think it's going to matter much. So here we are. Man, I can't believe I really missed that that lifelink trigger here. That double strike thingy. That's going to sit a little bit pour on a little bit of bad taste in my mouth here. So they are going to shut off life gain on me from that. Screaming Nemesis, obviously, absolutely insane card here. Gonna make use of this before it goes bye-bye, which kind of makes sense here. Okay. Woof. Okay, so let's try to get a little smarter here. There's a lot of moving parts. We want to keep... I wish I just had 5 land instead of 2. Or, sorry, 4. So I can go for Trostani and like a Shelter by Ghost or Get Lost. So that makes things a little bit awkward here. So what do we want to do for Guardian of New Benalia? I think we are just going to swing in here. I don't really want to put the Guardian of New Benalia in harm's way, especially if we're not getting lifelink anymore. So I think now we just do this. They are like not tapped out, so we got to be kind of careful here. Like it is possible for like you know. Well, that's fine. All right, so no abilities here. Again, we're gonna. Man, it really sucks out. I mean, the first time is just me being a moron. this time, I don't think we were supposed to use Trostani because, I mean, there's really no point. We want to keep up our Get Lost, I think. I don't think pushing for damage there with a double strike was really necessary. So, Questing Druid, sure. Only 1 card left in their hand, so we are kind of whittling them down. And eventually, you hope that Trostani will kind of take over. So, swing in here. You know, I think we can probably take it. We could also just Get Lost, but then we give them the map tokens, so they're probably kind of deciphering what they want to do here. Definitely not the most comfortable spot. Despite having that early Shelter by Ghost and that early life gain, we're not exactly in like a picture-perfect matchup here. So let's go ahead and do this on the end step here. We are going to give them map tokens, but like I said, alright, goes through. We're good. I haven't seen any protection spells yet. My turn. Forest. Okay, so now... See, now we have a catch-22 kind of situation here. We could drop the land, and then we've got enough for Trostani's double strike and a Shelter by Ghosts. But then, you know, then we obviously don't have enough to discard with the Guardian of New Benalia. But then again, the Ward 4, it would be like Ward 2 twice, so... I think we'll kind of hedge our bets here a little bit. Burst Lightning on the Pawpatch Recruit. I guess we might as well go for Guardian of New Benalia. I think you could really make the case that we should have just gone in for Shelter by Ghost onto the Guardian of New Benalia, but then they could have paid the ward, but then I have to discard. I don't know. A lot of moving parts here. Now I gotta make the decision. This is so awkward. I want to keep the Trostani. They could double block. They also don't know that I have a land in my hand, so like there's just a lot of weird game theory here. I think we still have the edge as the game goes long, but like, I mean, I think we just might as well make use of this. They will have to double block, which I don't think they want to anyway here. So we're doing more enlisting than we are Trostana. But I think I'm okay with it. We don't get the life gain. That's fine. They are going to double block. Wow. See, because like if we drop the land, we could go on for the double strike, but I don't think they would have, I don't think they would have double blocked in the first place. Or maybe they would have. I don't know. Maybe they would have. I don't know. I think if I drop the land and then threaten with double strike, they just chump block instead of double block. But I don't know. I don't know. Oh god, a manifold mouse off the top. Definitely not the end of the world. Especially because they have to respect Trostani, the 3 Whispers, even though we've literally not used a single bit of Trostani, we're still threatening with that double strike. And that's got to be looming in their head, I would assume, or hope. Alright, so they're pretty much out of resources here, despite what this has. Resolve, sure. So just a land, so they're pretty much like in top deck mode. They don't have any like man lands or anything like that, so it's pretty much just manifold mice. versus Trostani and a Guardian of New Benalia. I think we're gonna take it, but like I said, we gotta keep grinding, baby. Alright, so now I'm gonna be careful. I mean, Death Touch is usually the one that I use the least on Trostani, but, you know, it still obviously is an ability that we want to make use of, so Death Touch barely ever. Vigilance a little bit, and then the Double Strike is what we really like here, so I guess it'll be Guardian of New Benalia because it has potential to be indestructible. So we finally get something to use with Trostani, and I'm going to not only use that, I'm going to enlist Trostani. So Trostani gives us Vigilance, we enlist. Not going to be an elf. I think Kellan's okay here, honestly. We are pretty low to the ground, so I don't think we can be that picky. Kellan's pretty good. So just a monster chump block, I think that's fine. Again, Double Strike doesn't matter. We could use Double Strike on Trostani, but it doesn't matter. And we're not dropping the land. Absolutely no. Absolutely not. Got to keep that indestructible. Another Screaming Nemesis. All right. Can't swing with the mouse, so that's fine. God, I mean, I could. I'll just let it go. I could block and then get it indestructible, and then they just hit my face again. Whatever. Whatever. Just hit me. Whatever. Okay, got Kellan. We want to make sure that we go for the Journey On first, obviously. Kind of a, you know, a little bit of value. If you can grab value anywhere you can, you kind of want to, so. Should I use the map token is the only question here. Again, they have to chump block here. We kind of know that going in, so. Chop taking land is pretty good. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's swing in with both creatures, because again, they have to chump block because I can give Double Strike with Trostani. So I'm not going to enlist this time. No enlisting. No enlisting. They have to chump block, or we Double Strike and win. So this is presenting lethal. This is just going to be a chump block, and I'm not going to go in for Double Strike on Trostani, I don't think. I would rather just get Kellan down. But again, they have to chump block because they have to respect Trostani. So even though I'm not activating Trostani, they have to respect her. So, like, it's fine, I think. So end turn, I think we pretty much got it here. We got 6 life. Hardfire Hero. There we go, we take it. Good game.